Barbados, get up. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, morning to you.
Good morning to you today and welcome to Tuesday the 15th of April 2025. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you everywhere, whether you are here in Barbados or you're elsewhere across the globe. Always wonderful having you keep us company. Thank you for waking up bright and early. Morning has broken, so get up and get going. We had some sprinkles early in the morning, which I absolutely love because it portends for a beautiful today. I hope you do have one indeed. So if you're watching our streams, whether on YouTube, Facebook, or our website, cbc.bb, bonjour, ça va? How do you do? Have a good morning today. Hope that you find it to be the kind of day that you're looking forward to. But remember, it is Holy Week, and there's a lot that you need to stop and contemplate as you go as well. Remember, communicate between yourselves, but also talk to us. If you have an idea, or if you know of someone or something which you think we need to share on the show, we invite you to drop us an email. The email address is right there on your screen. Note it. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And our team already says thank you for being partners with us. Share the show. Tell someone else about us. Bring them along for a load of fun today. And speaking of today, I have a riddle. Good morning, Patricia Bell. You are always the first. She says good morning to all the brothers and sisters across the pond. The brothers and sisters on this side of the pond say good morning to you as well. Auntie Faye in St. Peter, good morning to you too. She says hello to everyone. She's wishing you a terrific today, as I do too. So to you all, indeed, commenting already on social media, good morning. Vereen Walker, how do you do? Have yourself a lovely today as well. She says good morning, team. So the team says good morning back through me to you, Vereen. We wish you well. There's also Kiran Oliver. She is watching from where? Kiran, where are you? But she's also saying good morning to the team of Morning Barbados. She's wishing everyone across the world a beautiful today and wishing blessings indeed. Happy birthday to you, Vereen. Congratulations. I hope you have a lovely birthday today. Cake? Celebrations? Anything going on special? Invite us or send us a picture so we can see how you're celebrating your birthday today. But congratulations on your birthday today. I have a riddle which I hope will crack your head. Indeed, I hope so. But you get a chance to call me. Let's see how we go on this one. 228-5562 or 228-5563. It's a simple riddle. It's as easy as you think it to be. And if you make it too difficult for yourself, you shall not get it right. So give us a call, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Here's today's riddle. The riddle is a very simple one. How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it? Peter, what do you think? How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it? Is that possible? If you think it is, then you call me and you let me know. 228-5562 or 228-5563. A number of you are already lining up to challenge me on this one, and I urge you to please do so if you're bold enough. Do so. Challenge me on this one. As always, I ask you for your working. Let me see the margins. Let me see how you've been able to resolve this one. So call me now and let me know your answer. How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it? That is your challenge to take. Call me and let me know. Now, coming up today, we'll continue our discussion as we'll take a look at the events of Holy Week. We're into Tuesday. We had the triumphal entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. We know something happened yesterday, Monday. Now we're into Holy Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday still to come because on Friday is Good Friday. Why? Why do we call it Good Friday when we know what happened on that day? All of those things we want to talk about when we're joined by the Bishop of the South Caribbean District of the Methodist Church, the Reverend Derek Richards. He'll continue our discussion through Holy Week. Also today, we get a look into what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago. it's the general elections coming up. They're about 15 days inclusive of today until the general elections on the 28th of April, which is National Heroes Day for us. But they are going to be deciding their future through government. And so we want to hear from a journalist from Trinidad and Tobago just what's happening. What are the campaigns talking about? And how are the people on the ground responding to the campaign messages as well? So we'll get details about those in just a moment. Also today, the 21st Jean Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament is now over. How did Barbados do? Who won? We'll get to meet the winners this morning. Plus, we get a review of that tournament where we talk to the president of the Barbados Netball Association. Can't wait to hear about that indeed, because we had many days of boasting here on the set. And so we want to hear the outcome of that tournament indeed. Now, over the past few days, the Boy Scouts have been encamped. They're having their national camp. And so this morning, we'll get to meet some of them to hear what did they do, how did it go, all of those kinds of things, and celebrate with the boys. Also, the upcoming Roger Boyce Classic. It is more than just a bodybuilding contest now. It's a big Olympiad, and so we can't wait to talk about the big boys about that indeed. So there's some of the things we expect to talk about today. So I'm waiting on you and your call. How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it? Y'all are all frightened. Y'all are all frightened. There's no trick in this. Seriously, there's no trick in this. We have a call. Good morning to you. Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Time to rise and shine. I think you're there now. Good morning. Let's test that again. Testing, 1, 2. So we'll try to get that call coming through, and I hope that we can clear that up technically. So call me and let me know, how can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it? Without cracking it. You know, the slightest thing, you drop an egg on a counter, it will crack. But how come it didn't crack on the concrete floor? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and let me know. Don't forget, coming up is that big walk and run by the Autism Association of Barbados on National Heroes Day as well. Your registration is the purchase of a t-shirt. Adults, you'll pay $35. Children, you pay $25. Let's try this call again. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Could you tell them don't listen to their television set? They have to listen to me on the telephone. When you call someone, what do? Do you listen to the TV or do you listen to the telephone? Same thing. You're talking to me. So call me and listen to your phone while you call. Please turn down the volume on your television. It will confuse you. You are going to be delayed. So just call me and let me know what you think is the answer. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Now, that Autism Run Walk is happening on the 28th, and it's happening from the National Disabilities Unit on Cullimore Rock. $35 a ticket, well, I'll take a t-shirt for adults, $25 a t-shirt for a child. They're encouraging you to come down, really have a good time. Spinney will be there. Spinney, as you saw in one of the publications locally, is the father of an autistic daughter. And so he is actively engaged in standing up in support of autism, those with autism, and parents who have children of autism as well. The stories are harrowing, but the beautiful promise in those children is something to behold indeed. And so we want to encourage you to continue lending your support to the Autism Association of Barbados. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Was
Good
that
morning,
you?
Barbados.
Morning. Was that you?
No.
Okay, wasn't you. This is Bev. Hello.
No, it's not.
Who's calling?
Althea.
Althea?
Yes, please.
Althea, where are you watching us from?
St. Philip.
Althea of St. Philip. All right, Althea. Do you think you know the answer?
Think so.
Let me hear.
But the egg is already cracked.
You have a raw egg already cracked.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Would you hold a raw egg in your hand? For real? Talk to me.
No, we put it in a bowl.
Oh, so it was just slightly cracked.
No, you empty it out in the bowl,
Go ahead.
and then you can put it on the concrete floor.
That's your answer, Althea, for real?
Yes, please.
How long did it take you to come up with that answer?
2 seconds.
You got that right because it's so wrong. Althea. Thank you for trying, though.
Okay.
That is so wrong. You cannot begin to imagine.
Thank you.
Have a good one, Althea. Thank you, too. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Let's see if you could solve this quickly. How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor, not in the bowl, and not crack it? How do you do that? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Now, we have some very, very interesting people to talk to in just a little while. I'm going to hear from them inside, or just who I'm going to be talking to first. But, I can't wait to delve into the conversation on Holy Week. As you know, as people of faith, we need to... It challenges our faith. it challenges us to look at our faith yet again, because sometimes we wander away from what is the truth. And so we'll be talking to Bishop Richards about that in just a little while. I can't wait to hear more about it. But have you been making out to Holy Week services in your spaces, wherever you are? If you haven't already done so, I encourage you to make plans to do so, whether it's online or in person. In person would be really, really good for real. It will be really good to fellowship one with the other, flesh to flesh. So make it an opportunity to fellowship in person. And if you can't, then online is fine. But Good Friday is coming up. Good Friday worship services are being held across the Barbados. Indeed, I want to encourage you to get inside a church, and on Easter Sunday as well, as we celebrate the resurrected Lord and Savior. Christ the Lord is risen today. Hallelujah. All of that kind of thing. We'll talk in just a little while. Can I go to Trinidad now? I want to take a trip on Caribbean Airlines and head all the way to Trinidad and Tobago to meet with Darice Polo, who's senior reporter in the newsroom at Guardian Media Limited, and she is on the politics beat. Darice, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, Pearson.
You're very welcome. Boy, did things happen when Stuart Young became Prime Minister. How was that received generally by Trinidadians?
I mean, well, we have the Opposition United National Congress being very vocal about the way that former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have transitioned power to Prime Minister Young. Now, interestingly enough, it was not only the opposition that had some challenges, but also internal discussions and some would say upset within the ruling People's National Movement. When then Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley made the announcement in Tobago, he did say that there was a vote, there was a straw poll conducted, and that Prime Minister Young would have won or edged out his main challenger by about 3 votes. But of course, after that, we had numerous reports coming out of the PNM camp. Eventually, the party was put in a position where it had to issue a statement and hold a press conference after a convention, a sort of an internal meeting, to just inform the population that all members of parliament would have been in support of that decision. So it was something that was up in the air for a little while, a few days, a lot of discussions, and a lot of people were wondering whether this was an attempt by former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to maintain control of governance. But our constitution makes room for it. And so it happened.
And so it happened. And then shortly thereafter, on March the 17th, I believe it was, when Stuart Young, at 50 years old, was sworn in as the Prime Minister. Am I right so far?
That is correct.
But as it happens, the following day, before I get to the following day, within 5 hours, he changed the cabinet. And so he installed his own cabinet. How did Trinbagonians respond to that particular act on his part?
You know, it was par for the course. It was anticipated. There was a bit of a cabinet reshuffle, if you will. Some senior officials within the administration that was once led by former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was shifted across. So we had Finance Minister Colm Imbert moved to the Public Utilities Ministry. The National Security Minister was moved to the he became a minister in the office of the Prime Minister. And other people were shifted around and elevated. Of course, we had the Attorney General taking up a new position at the Eastern Caribbean Court. So we had a new Attorney General, but it's something that is usually expected. What some people were surprised about was what they considered to be the demotion of the senior government officials, mainly then National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines, then Finance Minister Colm Imbert. But according to Prime Minister Stuart Young, he did not want them to see that as a demotion. It certainly was not a demotion in their salaries. They remain cabinet ministers. But he did in fact say that he wanted the then National Security Minister to be close to him, and he had some other plans for the then Finance Minister. So the population, John Public, saw it as a decision that was taken because of unpopular policy decisions that were taken by the then administration. The Finance Minister has received a lot of flack. He once mentioned that the people didn't riot when he raised the price of gas on 3 occasions, reducing the subsidy that the average Trinidad and Tobago national would have received, as well as for the National Security Minister overseeing the highest crime rate the island has ever seen. Now, it was only yesterday that Trinidad and Tobago would have come out of a state of emergency. So those unpopular ministers were shifted around, and political scientists would have argued that that decision was taken because of what the public would have seen as their lack of performance.
But then the next day, we had the announcement of the proroguing of Parliament and the announcement of general elections. Could that be linked? So those what the pundits were saying.
Yeah, the announcement of the election date came a bit suddenly, even though it's not a snap election by any means. Elections are constitutionally due this year, so as long as it didn't go past August, and then 3 months after that, we would have been fine. But we do have to have a mid-term budget, and we have a lot of things that are happening that need, to actually become operationalized. Some would have expected Prime Minister Young to use the opportunity, with him just being sworn in on March 17th, to familiarize himself to the role and get the population comfortable with him. But the opposition United National Congress had not actually oiled up its political machinery the way the People's National Movement has. And so what you found was that the PNM was announcing candidates for several seats. They were screening, the PNM being the only political party in this country contesting all 41 constituencies. Its main challenger, the United National Congress, contesting 39. They're not contesting the 2 seats in Tobago, our sister island. And so it really, while it may have come as a surprise to some, it really wasn't, because it according to the analysts, it really was an opportunity to catch the opposition with its pants down. And that is something that actually happened, because the opposition was not prepared. When nomination day came on April 4th, there was a mock exercise just 7 days before that, and they weren't prepared to participate in that.
And so here we are now. We have 2 titans in politics, Stuart Young, Kamla Prasad Bisesar. One 50 years old, the other 72 years old. Is that a topic of conversation in the campaign thus far, the age difference?
Yeah, definitely. From the side of the opposition, they speak about Prime Minister Young being young and inexperienced. He hasn't been a member of an active member in politics for very many years. He would have only joined the PNM around 2014, and that became public knowledge. Now, his father was definitely a member and an active participant in the People's National Movement. But then on the PNM side, they refer to the opposition leader sometimes as senile, that she's old. They make those types of jokes. They talk about her mobility, her ability to recall things accurately. So the peacock continues, and it's very ripe during this election campaign.
As Trinidadians would go all the time. That's what you guys do. And so here it is now. The campaigns have started. The politicking has already started as well. What are some of the platforms that either party has been posturing so that people can choose them as their next representatives?
So a big talking point is crime in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a major issue. We have a very, very high crime rate, and so the opposition is challenging members of the public to vote for the UNC, because they are saying that they will reduce the crime rate. Some of their policies include distributing laptops to students across schools. It's something that the former People's Partnership Administration, led by Kamla Prasad Bisesar, would have done. It's a the rhetoric is really centered on social programs coming from the UNC, a lot of offers of grants, talking about making payments to social media influencers that they should be able to monetize. Even speaking about the Law Association and lawyers saying that attorneys should get an opportunity to advertise, which is something that is currently illegal, and that would be regulated. So we have that sort of discussion coming out from the opposition camp. In the People's National Movement, they're saying, look, we have a new prime minister. Take us at our track record. Now, Prime Minister Young has been advocating for deals with Venezuela, and it was championed as an initiative that would have benefited Trinidad and Tobago economically and allowed us as citizens to continue to enjoy the standard of living that we do. But of course, that would have fallen through with the revocation of two of our OFAC licenses. So that was definitely a blow to the campaign from the PNM side. But they are saying, look, we are the People's National Movement, the oldest political party in Trinidad and Tobago, established since 1956. Give us another time, another opportunity to show you what we have and continue to do. Free education, free healthcare, things that were the brainchild of the People's National Movement. They're asking for this mandate to continue so that they are able to continue to build on the legacy of the first Prime Minister, Dr. Eric Williams.
One of the issues raised by Kamla Prasad Bisesar and the UNC was the receipt of a $250 million loan for road repair, very close to general elections. Has that become an issue that Trinidadians and Tobagonians are discussing?
You know, during the campaign season, a lot of conversations are had and conversations bandied about surrounding corruption. So this is not novel. In fact, people will hear about it, and people who are PNM diehards, PNM sycophants, they're going to dismiss those allegations without actual evidence. And the average citizen, it's difficult, I think, for the first time, for a lot of journalists, we've been speaking about it, to gauge what the ground is feeling and saying it's a pretty close election, actually, this time around. One of the claims that they would have tossed out even was how much money was spent by a state entity to send people to party with the People's National Movement. They have a PNM Fest. And so every other night you hear allegations from both sides of the political divide. We have the PNM just last night. There was a political meeting in La Hoqueta, Talparo, one of the constituencies here. And the candidate, who is the incumbent, Foster Cummings, claimed that social media influencers were being paid significant sums of money in order to say yellow is the code and reject the People's National Movement. And so we have claims across the divide. The PNM will refer to old allegations of corruption. Of course, a former government official, chairman of the UNC, would have just been discharged of charges of corruption just in this election season. He was accused of purchasing a Mercedes-Benz and giving it to a businessman, that's David Lee, and he would have won that case. And so we have these conversations throughout the year, but especially during the election.
Darius, there's so much more to delve into as it relates to this general election. We're just a few days away from its conclusion, and so I know you've been working really hard, you and your team, to just make sure that all Trinbagonians and the rest of the world, and we're the diaspora, are following what's going on there. So I can't wait to connect with you yet again. I hope you say yes, that we can continue talking about this. You're very welcome. Thank you. And so I thank you for joining us this morning, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I hope that your viewers actually get to answer that question about that egg being
so what's your answer?
On concrete.
What's your answer?
Honestly, I was thinking maybe put the egg in a pillow or some cushion. I don't know.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Don't even ponder further on that. But thank you very much for joining us. All right.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Darius Polo, she's senior reporter with the Guardian Media Limited, and she's talking to us a little bit. We'll continue having conversations and connections with her as the polling continues while the general election campaign happens in Trinidad and Tobago. We're taking a break here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
25 and a half minutes after 6 o'clock. It is Holy Week indeed, and we're continuing to center ourselves on what Holy Week means, what this whole week means as Christians and for Christians worldwide indeed. And it's always wonderful to sit across from Bishop of the South Caribbean District of the Methodist Church, the Reverend Derek Richards, because he has such insight. And so, good morning again, Reverend Richards.
Good morning, Pearson.
As always, good to have you. So we've gone past Palm Sunday. I know it was a significant moment in the Methodist Church with the palms and the procession and so forth. And then yesterday was Holy Monday. And the message in itself was also poignant. I want to look at it from the concept of enter into Jerusalem. The next line is, let us go to God's house. And so by the demonstration of Jesus in that Holy Week of let us go to God's house, and how it ended, and how it dovetails with his the Bible's recollection of his at 12 years old in the temple. Is there any connection there, you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the God's house, the temple, a place of learning, a place for all people to come and to know God. And I think this was very significant for Jesus, this need to restore God's house to being what it ought to be. And so when you think of Jesus going into the temple as an adult after Palm Sunday, it was precisely for that, to restore God's house to what it was intended to be, a place of prayer for all people. Mm-hmm. And the truth is that that was not what was happening then. And so Jesus moved with great haste to restore God's house to what God intended it to be.
I wonder if at that time people saw the connection between the 12-year-old boy and now this a man at 33 years old who comes back to the temple and was making these drastic changes. I think sometimes these events miss us. And so along the way he cursed the fig tree. Yes. What symbolism was that? Yes.
I have interpreted that in an interesting way of false advertising. Mm-hmm. The fig tree in leaf suggests that there's fig. Jesus, examining the fig tree, discovered that there is no figs, and therefore cursed the fig tree. And later on, the disciples discovered that it had withered away. And Israel, as God's people, were raised up to be the light to the other nations. They were supposed to help the rest of the world to know God and to follow God. The temple of the Lord was supposed to be a house of prayer for all people. What does Jesus see in the temple? Exclusion. The temple court that was supposed to be the place of worship for the Gentiles, because the Jewish men had a special coat, Jewish women had a special coat, the priests had a special coat for worship, the high priest had the Holy of Holies, and the place for the Gentiles, that is where they were selling and buying. And so every other group within Judaism had its place of worship, but non-Jews were excluded. They had no place because their place was converted into a marketplace. And so by cursing the fig tree, Jesus was pointing to the fact that they promoted something, because when you saw the temple, it was understood that this is a place for everybody. When you think of Israel, you think of them being the light for the whole world. But instead, there were demarcations, exclusion, and the like, just like the fig tree. And I think bring that home. When you think of the church suggests for a lot of people that there's acceptance.
Yes.
There is a place for everyone to worship, to know God, to be journeyed with. And the truth is that the church is involved in a lot of false advertising. Because when you do come, there are many persons who leave, and there's a passage of scripture where Jesus is on the Mount of Transfiguration. comes down after, meets his disciples arguing with a man who had brought his son because his son was demon-possessed.
Yes.
They were not able to do anything. And the man said, I brought my son, but they could not. And that's the experience of many persons when it comes to church. They come hoping that someone will see them. No one sees them. They come hoping that someone will empathize, that someone will minister. And so often we can be going about our own business. We don't see people, we don't hear people, we don't engage people, we don't journey with people. And that for me is a form of false advertising. You are saying that you offer something when in fact you do not offer.
Wow, that is so powerfully put, because, and I'm hoping that in this week of Holy Week, as we call it, you know, that people take the time to not just do the practice.
Absolutely.
But dwell for just a moment on the significance of it. And you just placed Monday and Sunday into a very strong perspective. But on Tuesday, the day today, he journeyed with his disciples to the Mount of Olivet and looked down onto Jerusalem, saw what was happening yet again, and again he told him, we can't have this anymore. Very powerful comment. We cannot have this anymore. I will die for these people as well. And so, what do you think Christians today can learn from that?
Yes. Again, all the pieces are connected. So Jesus looks at Jerusalem. He looks at the city of God, the people of God. And what he sees instead is human wickedness. People going about their own business, not caring for the poor, not taking care of the widows and the orphans. There's such widespread human suffering. The rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. And in the Word of God, there are stipulations, there are laws in terms of how we care for each other, how we care for the widows and orphans, how we care for the oppressed. And all of that is being thrown out and everyone pursuing their own personal dreams and ambitions. And Jesus weeps over the city. What that has to say to us, more things change, more they remain the same. There is within our society this go it alone mentality, this me achieving what I have set out to achieve at the cost of others' well-being, their dignity, their sense of self-worth. And it is an opportunity for the church to stop and to see how we can better interrupt and disrupt status quo, interrupt and disrupt human suffering, and restore humanity to a place where everybody flourish.
I think that's so important as well, because at the inception of sin, God immediately had a plan. And so his plan is now being worked out in this holy. And all of the examples we're seeing is Jesus being used in the plan. That using sounds just real bad, but you know what I mean. He accepted to be the savior of the world, and so he's going through the process of restoration. And so there's certain things in restoration that have to go flatly. And so if you go to a hospital, for instance, for treatment, you know quite well that sometimes surgery is critical. And so surgically, Jesus is going through this week and teaching us by his example just what God's plan for redemption is. And so the experience on the Mount of Olivet for me was poignant in that kind of way as well. And there's much more still to come. You know what I'll tell you, right? Come back. I know you're very, very busy this week. Very busy. Every night there's a service happening in the Methodist Church. There are 20 churches on the island. I want to encourage all of you to get out there and get into one of the churches indeed. As you heard from Bishop Richards, all of this is teaching that is shared with you in the church indeed. So don't be afraid of the church. The church wants to welcome you. The Methodist Church wants to welcome you. And so I encourage you to don't sit by the wayside and wonder if it's for you. It is for you. There is a place for you. And so all week long, that's what we're doing. We're worshiping in the Methodist Church. Bishop Richards, please come. We need to continue the rest of the week.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad he said yes. He said yes, indeed. You want to try my riddle for today?
I was thinking about it, and the answers that were given were the very answers that I was thinking about.
So more time for thought. No
Yes.
problem. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Bishop Reverend Derek Richards, who is the Bishop of the South Caribbean District of the Methodist Church. He is also the Superintendent Minister of the James Street Speightstown Circuit, of which there are 10 churches, from Bethesda in the north all the way down to Hawthorne in the south. And we're hoping that you can find your way into one of them indeed. Thank you indeed, sir. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
That question remains, and it is unsolved. It's 23 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. That question still is, how can you drop an egg from above, really from a height, onto a concrete floor without cracking it? Is it even physically possible? How can you? It is possible. I have an answer. You better believe it. But what is yours? Call me on 228-5562 or 228-5563 and let me know what your thoughts are. As always, I'll ask you for your margins. Give me your working. How did you arrive at such an answer? And you will let me know. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So how can we do this? How can you drop an egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it? How can you physically do so? Rack your brain around that one and then dial 228-5562 or 228-5563 and tell me. I keep reminding you, sometimes the answer is so obvious you wouldn't begin to imagine. We have a call. Good morning.
Yeah, you can. You can't even make an omelet without
cracking it. So you just cannot.
No, you cannot. But the good thing is that, how can you use an egg that hasn't been cracked?
How can I use an egg that has not been cracked?
Like every time you eat an egg, do you have to crack it?
Yeah,
maybe after it's boiled or whatever.
Have you ever seen a crate of eggs? Have you ever seen a crate of eggs?
Yes.
Is it whole?
Is it, pardon?
Is it whole without you touching it at all? Is it a whole egg?
Yeah, it's a
so
whole
yes,
egg.
I can use an egg without cracking it. I can take an egg in my hand without cracking it.
I guess so, but
you don't guess it. No, don't guess. The guessing means that I could be wrong. I am absolutely right. But your answer is totally wrong. Hello? She ran away from me. Don't run from me. Trust me, it's gonna be fun.
No, I was saying, what are you using the egg for? Just looking at it?
Perhaps. I just want to drop it on the concrete floor and see if it can crack.
Well, I guess you'll see, but it will crack.
What's your name? What's your name?
Giselle.
Janelle?
Giselle.
Giselle. That's a different name. Giselle, where are you watching from?
Speightstown.
Speightstown?
Yeah.
Thank you, Giselle. You're wrong here, but keep trying, all right?
Well, I tried.
Bye-bye, Giselle. Thank you indeed for joining us. Let's turn our attention now to winners and followers up. Most of all, netball. The 21st Jean Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament is now finished. Oh boy, was it a ding-dong battle. And so there was Trinidad versus Barbados. Trinidad versus Barbados, and it was close, and we were all... And then there was a winner. Joining me right now is Dr. Carmita Douglas. She is the president of the Barbados Netball Association, and she's brought with her our under-16 champion, really, Naya. Good morning to you again. Good to see you. And Jakera Jones-Smith, the under-16 vice. Good morning, Jakera. And you brought your trophies.
Yes, please.
As followers up, runners up. You don't like that at all, right? You were going to win.
Yes.
I know, I can imagine. And so, Naya, what happened?
Well, coming into the last quarter, it doesn't matter who wanted it more. And I got Trinidad wanted it more.
But you wanted it enough, right?
Yes.
And so what's your lesson learned from this experience?
You have to want the ball.
You have to want the ball. What did coach say to you, Jamila?
Be hungry.
Be hungry. And you don't think you were hungry enough. But
Well,
Trinidad played a good
They
game.
didn't play.
They really
Trinidad's
played a
game.
good game. But you were winning all along the championship through. You really thought you had this sewed up, right?
Yes. But I
Yeah.
didn't play Trinidad's game as I was hurt.
Oh, you were hurt for that game?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. You're feeling better now?
Yes, please.
You're doing better. Good. You played the Trinidad game?
Yeah, the first and second quarter.
So what happened?
Well, it was just a matter of shutting down the goal attack because she was the playmaker. But I guess going into the game, we were anticipating how much she was running about. So we did not truly do what we were supposed to do.
Okay. Well, they're lessons learned. And so, you know, you're still champions in our eyes because even though you came second, we know your potential as baby gems.
Yes.
And so you know you still have Barbados full support. Full support without doubt. Indeed, all right? Dr. Douglin, the tournament is now finished. Have you had a chance to relax and just reset for just a moment?
Not quite yet. Still feeling a bit tired, but I think we had a wonderful tournament.
Nice.
And it's not just about the playing days, but it's about the entire experience.
Yes.
You know, those girls went home feeling really having enjoyed Barbados because we were able to give them a reception with our culture. They really enjoyed that. We were able to take them to a church service.
Nice.
We were able to have an opening ceremony of world class with all of the cadets and the people marching on, the young ladies leading them on. So it was excellent. And then we capped it off by giving a little tour of Barbados. So they got to see Harson's Cave.
Sweet.
And they got to see Welch Mahal Gully. And, you know, they were able to meet friends and enjoy themselves. So it was a total experience and not just, you know, playing against each other.
I like the midweek sisterhood, I call it.
Oh yeah. And how could I forget that? That was the icing on the cake. It was a Speak Sister Summit, and I want to thank Sandy Lane Charitable Trust, who was the main sponsors for that, and the National Wellbeing and HIV, as well as the Caribbean Development Bank. So we had 3 sponsors on board, and we were able to get some parliamentarians to come and give Chantal Monroe Knight and Marcia Caddo, and then 2 young advocates to come and give, you know, the journeys, you know, and the young people were able to discuss topics and then present their topics and engage. So that was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I saw from the news report that all of that happened. You're quite right. We're watching just one of the games here. Is this? Yes, this is the final. We're all together, 12. Can you see it from there?
Yes.
Right, and there you go. And so this was the game that really determined the winner, the outcome indeed. And so it was really close. It was biting. And so you had us on the edge, but we were happy. We're not disappointed. We're very happy with your performance because we know you can. We know you will do so all the time. And so, can we talk to me a little bit about the organization of it and the lessons learned from it?
Yeah, I must say we had lots of volunteers. We had almost 150 volunteers, and they all played an extremely important role. And we had a local organizing committee. Mark Lewis, he was our chair, and he came over dropping his volleyball hat to assist us because this is what he does well throughout the region. And we had Marlene Hall, who's a technical person. She was responsible for the technical areas. And really and truly, each of the leads of the various areas play a very important role, from the meet and greet at the airport with the liaisons, you know, that was excellent. So I think overall the organization was excellent. We started last year, and I mean, anyone looking on, we got calls from Trinidad, from Jamaica, all over, saying that this is a world-class event.
Wow.
That we did it well. And we would like to thank everyone that was involved and all of the persons that give us those accolades, because it was well deserved. I think we did a marvelous job.
I think so too. Well done to you and your team as well for pulling this off. In terms of the development of the sport of netball, though, because you had 6 territories who participated,
yes.
And we want to broaden this. Oftentimes we hear the Jean Pierre tournament, it's always in Trinidad, it feels like. It just feels that way, but for Barbados to have hosted it, and hosted it at world-class standard as well, I think is significant. Developing the sport and getting more and more people involved in the sport. I know without doubt the ladies are involved, but more people supporting the sport. What do you think now needs to be done?
Well, first of all, I don't want to sound as though I'm being selfish in any way. but we need a home for netball. I mean, we had the netball stadium for all of these years, owned by netball.
Yes.
And, you know, if we're going to refurbish it, that's okay to have a multi-sports complex, but we need our own home as at, what should I say, world standards. So we need to have not just a roof and a floor, but totally enclosed, you know, and we need to be able to host like the Netball Youth Championships. It's being held in Gibraltar this year in September. And as you know, Gibraltar is just a small rock.
Yes.
So Barbados can definitely host that. So I just want to reach out to the Prime Minister, to Corporate Barbados. You know, we need to have our own home. And what we've done now is we've started developing from the under 14 level. So for the last 2 years, we've had under 14 division. And we're hoping that by starting that early to develop those skills, and we can see some really skilled players at the under 14 level, then they will move into the under 16. We have a development pathway, and then they move up to under 19 to under 21, up to seniors. So we're building our netball and developing the sport. But this year, more so than before, we have like 82 teams participating. It's a lot of participation, and to play that in the community is going to be difficult. So we definitely need to have a space where we can play all of our games in the same venue. So this is something we are reaching out, and we're asking for persons to come on board and to work with us, that we can have that center. When we have practice, we have 4 different squads practicing. So we need to find space for them to practice. And then when we have games, we are playing like 4 nights a week. So therefore, we need all 7 days or at least 6 days for netball. And that can't happen sharing it with anybody else.
I endorse your message.
Thank you.
I totally endorse it indeed. And so Naya, how was the camaraderie for you with the rest of the teams from across the region?
It was nice. I had a lot of bonds being made, and when I felt like when the rest went overseas, it felt like if we were leaving a friend.
Yeah, I can imagine. Jakira, the same for you? And you promised each other you will stay in touch?
Yeah. Yes.
That's very good, because in the next competition, those are the people you'll probably be meeting again. But we want to commend you from Barbados, and Mornin Barbados in particular. You know, we thank you for representing Barbados so very well. You fought to the end, and that's the spirit that we like, because we can only get better from there. So stay with that spirit and get better and better and better, and you become world class.
Thank you.
That is our aim. Dr. Douglas, as always, thank you so much. You know, stay in touch. If there's anything else we can help you with, you know, reach out, and let's see how Mornin Barbados can assist you, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome indeed. Thank you, ladies, as well. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, we're 10 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we continue to delve into the Faculty of Medical Sciences at the University of the West Indies. This is their week for you to taste and see and experience for yourself all of the different study options available to you and just what it means to study at the UWI Cayfield campus in the Faculty of Medical Sciences. So joining me this morning, next, and I'll get to them in just a moment, but while we set them up, and we need the time to do so, I still have that outstanding riddle. And they're smiling because they're trying to tackle the riddle as well. This is good. How can you drop an egg from a height onto a concrete wall, onto a concrete floor really, and not crack it? How can that happen? You can call me still on 228-5562, 228-5563. And while you think on this, remember we're going to be connecting with the students and some of the faculty members as well from the program coordinators from the UWI to share with you what's happening in the Faculty of Medical Sciences. So they're being set up, and I'm going to keep you company while they're being set up as well. So call me 228-5562 or 228-5563 and let me know what your thoughts are, what your possible answers are, and show me you're working as well, because I'd like to hear how you came with your answer. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and let me know. Still to come, we're connecting with the bodybuilders. Yeah, the big ones in Barbados, because there's an upcoming Roger Boyce Classic and a mini Olympiad right here in Barbados as well, and that's just a matter of days away now. So we can't wait to tell you more about that and why you should be a part of it and who's coming. All of those kinds of things we shall share with you in just a little while straight ahead. But the news is still to come at the top of the hour. So we have a call or no? Talk to me, let me know. 228-5562 or 228-5563. All right. We are all ready now. Next to me is one of the students at the UWI Cayfield campus in the Faculty of Medical Sciences. Good morning, Faith.
Good morning, Faith.
How do you do, Miss Holder?
I am good, and you?
Well, thank you for asking. Kamisha Lett is also a student. Kamisha, how do you do?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you for asking. I'm going to ask you in a minute what it is that you're studying or what have you studied. Dr. Roger Seeley is the program coordinator in the Bachelor of Health Sciences. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good to have you. And Michelle Carrington, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. The program Nutrition and Dietetics?
Human Nutrition and Dietetics.
Okay, you're the program coordinator for that.
Yes.
All right. Faith,
Yes, please.
how has the experience in studying has been for you? What are you studying?
I'm studying human nutrition and dietetics.
Oh, see with her.
Yes, please. I am actually in my final year, so set to graduate this year. This experience has been, it's been a lot. It's been a really good experience, I must say. You know, every experience comes with challenges. However, with each challenge became many victories as well. This program has allowed me to explore the world of nutrition and explore my love for food and dietetics and aiding persons as well.
How long is the program?
3.5 years.
You heard the way she said it? 3.5. You know it so well.
Yes.
3.5 years and you're just counting it down.
Yes.
But it wasn't that intense that it scared you, did it?
No. It really motivated me, to be honest, and really enlightened me to the fact that Barbados really need dietitians, and it really sparked. I love dietetics. I love nutrition, and I always wanted to become a dietitian. So this program fueled me. It helped with my public speaking, and it really helped to open my eyes, and I was able to help a lot of persons in the community and everyone around me.
Oh, you're doing so well.
Yes,
You're
please.
doing so well. Kamisha, what about you? What are you studying?
I'm doing health sciences, so my concentration is community health.
Community health, what does that mean?
So we look into public health and all the preventative in terms of diseases and all the public health in terms of like trying to figure out, you know, communicable diseases, and we can prevent all these things from happening before it get to the worst.
Yeah. So like us with high blood pressure and the like, and these non-communicable diseases, the things that we get around, like the eat well, exercise.
So we start here first, you know, to make sure that, you know, we prevent
the right diet.
Yes.
And then you monitor me as we go and remind me of how we need to stay
healthy.
So,
you know, so we don't have a low rate in terms, our high rate in health, in bad health, that's all.
So then at the end of your course of study, what do you become? You're known as a...
Work into public health. You could go into policy based and in things like critical thinking. So what we try to do in this, we try to push good health towards the community. So in terms of like eating well, you know, taking away all of the high sugar drinks and juices and food within the schools. So we work into public health though. So public health is the main thing that we push.
The wider public is your focus. And so Dr. Rogers Seeley, she's one of your students?
Yes, please, she is.
Are you pleased with her responses so far?
I am pleased.
So she has an A, she's passed.
And she's given very candid responses, yes.
Talk to me about how the program is delivered.
So the program it's a 3-year program, full-time, and there are 5 concentrations that you can choose from. So community health is one of them. You can also do health informatics. You can do environmental health, biomedicine, ethics and society, and then also healthcare administration. So these are the 5 areas that we currently focus on. And the whole purpose of building the program like that is to make sure that we have a strong cadre of healthcare professionals to support the healthcare system, to meet the needs that we have currently, and to also to meet the challenges that we expect to have. So that is the main reason.
So when people sign up to be a part of your course, for instance, what do we need to come with?
So one thing we really need to come with, apart from the academic qualifications, so there are the basic entry requirements. You need math, you need English, strong emphasis in basic sciences like chemistry and biology is definitely recommended because of the foundational courses that we have. We also reach out to persons who are currently working within the health system who may not have been formally qualified or looking to improve their qualifications, so we accept them as well. But one other non-academic qualification, I would say, is the type of enthusiasm that is exemplified by these 2 students. You need people who are very passionate about what they want to do, and we at the university, specifically within our faculty, can take the combination of that passion and the academic prowess that they have to help you to be the best possible professional that we can make you.
Ms. Carrington, you will say the same thing, right? I'm sure you will. So talk to me a little bit. Rolling in your program, for instance, to do human nutrition and dietetics.
Yes.
What would it take?
What would it take? You would need to meet the basic matriculation requirements. So, you have your age entry, your subject entry. So pretty much a science background. Right. And then you can have you have your advanced level subjects as well. Outside of that, you would need to, we always try to encourage persons to have a real interest in health and well-being, health and nutrition, be passionate, really having that genuine desire to want to help to solve the problems, because we have many nutrition-related problems, because that's what's driving us now. A lot of the issues that we are facing are nutritionally
we get sick through our mouth.
Pretty much so,
Simple, so into the gut and we're good.
And it's unfortunate because these are things that can be managed. Things like diabetes and hypertension and cholesterol, these are treatable. They're preventable and they're treatable. So we shouldn't be having these burgeoning numbers. Every year we're hearing increase. So definitely that's the basic entry requirement. We do allow for mature students as well. So persons that would have been in the healthcare industry, once they've met the requirements, you actually send in your qualifications and you're assessed, and we can determine that. We are also allowing for a special student status as well. So persons who would have had degrees, let's say for example from other universities and nutrition related programs, but they were not able to get an internship, because that's what defines us. That's why we have a 3.5-year program. We have besides our didactics, we have 3 internships that students must complete: a food service, a clinical, and a community nutrition internship. So we're allowing those students to come in after assessment into the program to upgrade, because we do need to have the dietitians on island.
Yeah, and that's so important indeed. So to access all of this information, we just go to the faculty's website and see what it is. And when is your next matriculation? When are you expecting your next cohort of students?
In September.
In September.
Yeah.
Think about it, everybody. Think about it. Don't think you have a lot of time, because you really don't. It's usually quite an interesting area, right, that people would subscribe to. So space is limited, but the opportunities are big and vast and wide and varied, and they're waiting to see you. So go online and sign up to be a part of these things, and you come away being a dietitian or a community health worker, that kind of thing. You listen. Follow it indeed. At the Faculty of Medical Sciences, they're having all week long opportunities for you to come in and see what they do. And there's a taster session on Thursday, just before the Easter weekend. That's a good time indeed for you to get in there to know more about medical sciences and all of the opportunities available to you. So explore the faculty, explore the campus, and see how you can see yourself being a part of it indeed all week long. I want to thank you because I am out of time. But thank you so very much, Faith Holder. And you, Kamisha Lett.
Thank you.
You too, Dr. Roger Seeley.
Thank you very much.
And Michelle Carrington. All the
Thank
best
you.
indeed. Thank you very much. All the best indeed.
Thank
all.
you. Thank you.
We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes...
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 4 minutes after 7. Time to look at the news now. 3 shooting incidents yesterday left 1 man dead, 2 others in hospital. The first incident occurred at 8th Avenue, Ivy St. Michael, near the Blenheim playing field, where a young man was shot multiple times and he died at the scene. Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Inspector Ryan Brathwaite says the Police Operations Control Room received that call around 4:20 p.m.
Investigations revealed that the deceased was sitting outside a residence socializing when he was approached by 2 masked men. A series of gunshots were heard and the deceased ran away and succumbed to his injury along 8th Avenue, Ivy St. Michael. Investigations are continuing into this matter. We are asking anyone who may have witnessed this incident or have any information which may assist to please contact the Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-8477, Police Emergency at 211, or District A Police Station at 430-7242 or 430-7246.
Well, Member of Parliament for the area, Trevor Prescott, says he knows the family of the deceased and is describing the brutal killings as senseless. Now, the second shooting took place at Grisette St. Michael, which resulted in one man being taken for medical attention. The third at Fairfield Road, St. Michael, he too, that gentleman, was taken for medical attention. A number of judicial and law enforcement officers have been given the opportunity to engage in a course geared towards increasing their knowledge and forensic photography. And a call has been made for those who are engaged in the craft to raise the bar. Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for Human Resources and Administrative Services, Jefferson Clark, says this is a specialized field which allows photographers to reconstruct a scene for investigators and in court matters. He tells participants forensic photography should always be employed when it is the desire to obtain objective, permanent and easily controlled proof of bringing about a conviction.
I too would always encourage the acquisition of knowledge. Knowledge is not everything. As police officers, you must possess not only legal and other requirements, but you must also have general training, special fitness, and ideas ever ready for development. Of course, this knowledge should be acquired beforehand by consistent application in your everyday, ordinary life.
President of the Barbados National Union of Fisherfolk Organizations, Vernell Nichols, says fish prices are higher than usual this Easter because there is a severe scarcity. Nichols told CBC News while Barnufo is aware that members of the public are critical of the high prices, vendors sympathize with them. She was speaking at the sidelines of the Barbados Coastal Fisheries Resilience Project launch.
And the public can bear with us, and that at some point in time through this recovery that we're able to stabilize and bring these prices to a satisfaction where persons can enjoy the fish as they used to. It is not an intention, I don't believe, of these fisherfolk to be out there looking to rob or disadvantage the public, but because persons, if they look back, they would have seen those good times where fish was quite cheap and reasonable, and where the public could have come in and purchase as much fish as they want and go.
And Barnufo is hoping more fish becomes readily available in the markets as the Easter holidays approach.
We're still hoping that some boats will come in and have some fish, to sell, but at this time is still a bit daunting on the spirit, because this is the time that we usually have so much fish in the market that sometimes you can't even see through the market, and if you walk the market now, it is really a skeleton of what it used to be.
The local fishing industry, which took a major blow from Hurricane Beryl in July last year, will soon be casting its line again. The multi-million-dollar Barbados Coastal Fisheries Resilience Project is being touted as one of the remedies to help revive the critical sector, which is in survival mode. The United Nations Development Programme, in partnership with the Government of Japan and in collaboration with the Barbados Ministry of the Environment and National Beautification, launched that project. Anesta Henry has that story.
Construction of a boat lift at the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex, equipping fishing vessels with modern technology, installation of ice machines for vendors and the processors, and the conceptual designs for the upgrade of the Bridgetown and Oistins fisheries complexes. These are just some of the major plans to be implemented as part of the Barbados Coastal Fisheries Resilience Project. Minister of Environment and National Beautification, Green and Blue Economy, Adrian Ford, says in many ways the initiative will also support the resumption of livelihoods for those affected by Hurricane Beryl and increase the capacity of the fishing community for disaster preparedness and resilience.
We also say that in order to be able to attract and have efficient catch, that there must be technology that is able to identify the fish stock even underneath, far underneath the bottom of the ocean. Again, thanks to your technology that will be given. and then with your boat building skills to be able to input that knowledge. We are truly grateful for that. And I'm very excited to look forward to the travel lift and the ability to be able to have those boats out in record time as we look to build a harbour that is safe, that is efficient and effective in its purpose.
The Barbados National Union of Fisherfolk Organizations was one of the agencies involved in planning the Barbados Coastal Fisheries Resilience Project. Cluster Lead Prevention, Recovery and Resilience, UNDP Elizabeth Charles Sumer says Barnoufa will also be receiving a piece of the pie.
We have elements of support for office equipment. These are all the needs that have been expressed, as well as training for Barnoufa members in a number of areas. We did mention fish processing, but also any area that includes institutional development and improving your broader capacity to serve your key function within the sector.
And the government of Japan's generous support is making the initiative possible. Ambassador Yusuke Miyasaka says Japan deeply understands the importance of disaster resilience and ensuring sustainable management of coastal fisheries.
Through the Barbados Coastal Fisheries Resilient Project, Japan has contributed $2.9 million to help enhance the resilience of coastal fisheries, ensuring that those who depend on the sea for their livelihoods can continue to do for generations to come.
Meanwhile, Barnoufa President Vernel Nichols says the fisherfolk are welcoming the assistance at this time, when many of them are still recovering from the impact of Hurricane Beryl.
I think that it is timely because even at this time, we are still in a struggling situation, a struggling position, and the support to this fishing industry is a great thing. I feel extremely happy that Barnoufa was included in the discussions.
The Barbados Coastal Fisheries Resilience Project complements government's broader fisheries recovery plan, as well as recovery efforts being led by other international partners. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Fire officials are exploring alternative sources of water to fight fires within the city. Station officer of the Bridgetown Fire Division, Roger Bourne, told CBC News it is necessary to find alternatives to potable water. He says an alternative is brackish water or seawater. Fire officers were busy in the city exploring what possible areas there were yesterday. He says when a big fire event occurs in Bridgetown, it is all hands on deck. So this initial work will allow for all fire officers to have the knowledge of the established points to access the water from the careenage.
We're looking at various points along the careenage that we can have access to this water so that we can use it to do relay pumping from one vehicle to the next vehicle so we can have water to use at any incidents within town instead of relying on our potted water sources. So that's what we're here this morning. This is the Bridgetown Port and it's also the Bridgetown Fire Station, but it's going to be for every shift, for every station eventually, because you know when we have a big event in town, a big incident in town, normally we call in as much people as possible. So we want everybody to have the knowledge of all the established points that we're going to create this morning, accessing water from the careenage, knowing how to get the water there and how to utilize the water.
Station Officer Bourne says so far they have found a couple points they can use, but they will also explore the Wickham's-Lewis boardwalk to see if there are any points along that stretch.
So that if the Treasury has an issue, we know we can access water closer to the Treasury. If there's a problem with any other buildings on the Marhill Street area, we can also access a little further up to get the water closer in. So in terms of Broad Street, we find out a spot that we can utilize. So it's just a matter of testing the equipment, connecting the holes and the equipment and the various appliances to make sure that we now have the theoretical becomes practical.
That's our news until now. We'll have more news at 12 noon here on CBC TV 8. Morning Barbados takes a break, but I can't wait to share with you what's up next after the break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Right, 60 minutes now after 7 o'clock. Boy, are we in for a good time. I am so pleased to see this lady who's sitting across from me now, Alicia Asgrant, who used to be my producer, but has left me. God helps me, but she's a public relations officer with the Barbados Boys Scouts, so she's hard at work indeed for the national camp that concludes today. And so, Bagheera, good morning.
Good morning.
What does that term mean, by the way?
The Jungle Book story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the big Black Panther. Yeah.
Did any of you boys know that? Okay, all right. So I'm the clown in the batch. All right, no problem. But good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right, I'll come back to you in a minute. With her, next to her is Devron Bino, who's a venture scout. Actually, all of you are venture scouts as well as you, Kishon Cadogan and Hezekiah Dummett. Good morning, Hezekiah.
Good morning, sir.
Jeez, all right. You hear that voice, folks? No, the camp is all finished. Today, finishes today. How was it?
It was hard work for me, but it was very exciting for the boys. And for the most part, I think they all had a lot of, fun, made new friends, other leaders who didn't know each other, came together and, just did what we thought was best for them.
And
so
that's
far it went
what
well.
was best for them. And it's all part of a whole series of activities you're having this year, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because last month, which is March, was our Scout Month.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrated 113 years.
Yes.
So this is the first time that all of the sections camped at the same location at the same time. Because they've had national camp before, but this is the first time all these sections are there. So I was really excited to have it, and we kind of made history.
At the Blackman and Gollop School.
At the Blackman and Gollop Primary
Making
School.
history indeed.
Yes.
And so you had how many scouts were there? How many people were encamped there?
There's like 400, just over 400 persons are there at the moment.
I can't imagine what the ancillary services that you had to lay on, in terms of making sure everybody's fed, making sure all of those things it would have taken a lot of organization.
Yep, we have persons, Corporate Barbados, who sponsored and helped us out, and also parents volunteered as well, and leaders. So some of the leaders are not all with the boys, but some of them are dealing with that aspect as well. So everyone came on board to help and assist.
It was, from pictures I've seen and from the news reports as well, it seemed to have been a really, really good time for all.
And the fact I have no voice should tell you that.
That you had a lot of shouting to do.
No, tired.
Fair enough. And so, Devron, you're a venture scout. What does that mean?
So there are different sections in scouting. You have the beavers, which are the small ones. You have the cubs, which are primary school. They go infants A, B until class 4. You have the scouts, which are secondary school until 16. And then you have us, which are the venture scouts. So we are basically the bridge between leaders and youth. So we go from 16 to 25.
So from 16 to 20, you're not 25, so you're somewhere in there, right?
Yes, I'm 17.
So, and why are you wearing, what's the bit that you're wearing on your sleeve?
This is a first aid patch for the camp.
Oh.
I've been acting in the capacity of a first aider in this camp.
Okay, so you were not just camping, but you were also providing first aid services.
Yes.
Which meant you had to train in first aid services.
Yes.
And that's why you're wearing some of these badges as well?
Yes, please. This badge right here, this is the first aid badge. We had to be first aid certified, which all ventures should be, which gives us the qualifications to be first aiders.
Did you have a good time?
Yes, we definitely did.
Are you regretting that it concludes today?
I wish it was a bit longer. it was a fun experience, but it is just one of many that is going to happen this year. So I'm just looking forward to the other activities planned.
Well said indeed. What about you, Kishon? How was it for you?
Camp was very entertaining for the most part. Like any camp, it has its ups and downs. We all came together, all ventures came together and worked hard. We provided for the younger scouts and cubs, and we made sure everything was in order for them.
You had to sleep outside on the tents?
Yes, we did.
Well, listen to me. How was that for you?
It was okay. We are for the most part accustomed to it, so it was just like another normal camp.
But it rained.
Yes.
So how do you deal with rain while camping?
For the most part, the tents are waterproof. So
that's the tent, the sides and cover.
Yes.
But on the ground it gets wet.
Yes. Well, we have a rule where the boys are not allowed to wear slippers on the campsite unless you're going to the bath. So you're always in sneakers or always in your uniform.
So with the damp and everything, you survived it.
Yes.
But you're wearing a cord around your neck as well. Why are you wearing that cord?
It's basically our camp whistle. Our whistle.
Oh. So what is that? Why were you the one wearing the whistle?
I mean, all ventures are
whistleblowers.
Yes, we are supposed to wear whistles, but I guess I was the only one that put up my song today.
Okay, fair enough. And so Hezekiah, I like your name to begin with. It's a good old-fashioned, seasoned name.
Thank you,
How
sir.
do you feel about your name?
It's a nice name, to be honest. I thank my parents for giving me the name.
I think so too. It's different, you know. And
Yeah.
it's stately as well.
Yes, sir.
And what a voice you have. How old are you?
I'm 17.
17 years old. I can't imagine when you become a lot older where that voice is going to take you. So cure it and take care of it.
Of course.
So talk to me about your experience at the camp.
Well, as Kishon said, for the ventures, it was a lot of hard work, making sure everything ran smoothly because, as everyone said, we bridge the gap between the youth members and the leaders. So we were just focused on making sure everyone from scouts right down to beavers were happy and reporting like their concerns and stuff up to the leaders. And yeah, also working in first aid on the medical team was kind of hectic for the last 7 days.
What else suggested you had lots of cases to deal with?
Yeah, some of them, I mean, majority of them were pretty minor, but there was one or two that was a little sticky, if you will.
So what have you learned from engaging at the camp this year?
I would say that I learned, honestly, to interact better with the younger scouts, because as ventures, we mainly tend to be around each other, or at least just scouts, so other secondary schoolmates, etc. But being able to interact with the much younger boys, the cubs and the beavers, was a good learning experience.
Kishon, why should young boys, one, become a scout and to rise in the ranks as you?
I think that they should become scouts because it helps with building skill sets within ourselves. It also helps with, or when we go for job interviews in workplaces, we can put on our resume or CV that we did this, we can do that, we know how to pitch a tent, how to, do first aid. So I think that joining the association helps most boys or all boys find themselves and find their strengths and weaknesses, and we try to, help them get better.
Devon, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Honestly, one of my weaknesses, getting up. I think everybody here can agree.
Yes.
Even this morning.
Yeah.
That is definitely one of my weaknesses. One of my strengths, I would say, leadership and taking the initiative. Being able to face challenges on the spot. Those are some of my better strengths and ones that I definitely have to use in scouting.
Do you have any regrets being in scouting?
No, I don't have any.
So their parents were concerned as to what scouting is and whether or not they should allow their sons to be a scout. Give them your best advice when they're trying to make up their minds as to allowing their children to be a part of scouts.
I would say that there are many people involved in scouting, indirectly and directly. So you can ask somebody, chances are they know someone in scouting who have done scouting, and the best way honestly to see what scouting is is to go and see for yourself. Hazelwood, our headquarters, is always open. We're always doing different activities that are open to the public. Just coming and seeing what we do and how we do it can ease your mind.
Als, that's why I call her here all the time. You know, you just go straight to Als. You have 3 articulate young men who are part of the Boy Scouts, and I'm sure that's part of the developmental program of Boy Scouting as well.
Yes, it is. These boys were amazing person. I've seen them before. I have met Hezekiah more recently because we have a new Green Skills program coming on board, and you'll hear more about that in the future. And he was one of the youth members who were there training. And his personality, you know, we just clicked. So from day one, which was the Tuesday we went there to set up, they came early and we just hit it off. If you ask them to do anything, they never hesitate. Like Devron said, they use the initiative. It's just amazing to work with them. Really, really is. And I find the program is a very good one. And people should, you know, encourage their boys to come and join. So from Beavers right up to Scouts to Ventures.
How do they do it? You go through the schools or we come straight to the headquarters?
You can contact the headquarters and we'll be able to tell you where there are packs or groups within your son school or community. Some groups are open, so they have persons who are not belonging to a particular school, but most of the groups are attached to the school. Because I think all 3 of you, no, 2 of you are Harrison College and the other one was where?
Hazelwood.
Hazelwood, right.
Right, so 2 from schools, 1 at camp headquarters, and so the possibilities are real, parents. You did sneak and said there's some other things coming. You want to hint to a few of them?
Yes, there's a UNICEF Green Skills Project, and Barbados, we were chosen, Barbados Boy Scouts Association. We, I think there's, I can't remember exactly the numbers, but it's a very small number of countries. We're the only one in our region that was picked to participate. Nice. So that's coming up. We also have a volunteer drive. We need, boys tell them, we need volunteers. We need leaders, etc. So all that will be coming soon.
You've coached them well. We need volunteers and leaders. So again, if you want to volunteer, contact headquarters at Hazelwood.
Yeah.
If you want to give in any way, kind cash and all is well, contact Hazelwood, the headquarters of the Barbados Boy Scouts. And boys, well done. Well done, Sherpa. Well done, Bagheera. You know, for all the work that you've been doing with these young boys and all the boys really in camp and just the Boy Scouts Association. Well done.
They can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Barbados Scouts, and they can see what I've been doing every day since we started at the camp.
She tell me now,
Barbados Scouts.
Barbados Scouts.
Yes, on Instagram and Facebook.
As I done here, Barbados Scouts. We're going to check them out and see what they've been up to indeed. But thank you again. Alicia,
you're
welcome.
welcome.
Public Relations Officer with the Barbados Boy Scouts Association. She's brought along 3 of the Venture Scouters with her: Devron Bino, Kishon Kadakan, and Hezekiah Dummett. Welcome again, boys, and really continue being excellent at who you are. You speak so well. I'm very, very impressed about your capacity to do so. I know Scouting has a lot to do so with you, and use your skills for the good of society and your family as well, all right?
Yes, sir.
Good man. Yes, sir. I like that. Thank you all. We'll be back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:30 in Barbados in the Eastern Caribbean as we turn our attention now to fitness and it being on display. Coming up very soon is the Roger Boyce Classic, but it's going to be more than just that. It's like a mini Olympiad in the Wilde Gymnasium, and so all of us are invited to be there as well. So look out for that indeed. So it's next to me on the couch, much bigger than I am, is the man whose name is emblazoned on this particular classic coming up, Roger Boyce. Roger, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good. You're also Vice President of the Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation.
Yes,
a mouthful, right? Mm-hmm. But it is what it is.
Yes.
And so there you are. And on the phone with us is Giovanni Arens, who is the president of that association. Good morning to you, Giovanni. There you are. And online with us coming, I can see his face even as I sit here, is Dr. Alfred Sparman. He's the president of the Barbados Amateur Bodybuilding Fitness and Fitness Federation. Good morning to you, Dr. Sparman.
Good morning, Pearson. Only you can get me up this early.
Well,
only you.
Only me. That's good.
Thanks for having me.
That's good. I feel almost like Jesus. Well, thank you for joining us indeed.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Roger, let's talk a little bit about what's coming. When is it, by the way?
The event starts the 8th of May.
Right.
And as for the comparative start, coming and finish on the 12th. Mm-hmm. But the actual competition days is the 10th and the 11th of May at the Wilde Gymnasium, starting at 3.
And it is such a massive sport, and there's such a massive following in Barbados for this. And so it's like again, the best of the region who are going to be a part of this here on that day, on those days.
Well, the best of the world.
The world.
Yeah, because we have a few world champions coming. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's going to be big. Last year we had some 34 countries in Barbados for it, and now we're going to be having maybe like 40 countries coming to Barbados.
That's growth, and that's fantastic. So it's evolved over time, the classic.
Yes,
it started, and then it becomes hugely in demand. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's a team effort. You have a big team behind us pushing this. The federation, our local federation president, Dr. Sparman, and we also have the region and the IFBB president really behind us pushing this event. So for me, it's an honor to be part of such an event.
That's fantastic. And so, have you seen the sport of bodybuilding evolve in Barbados generally?
Yes. When I started this event some 18 years ago, the sport was on the down low. So for me, I think that being a competitor, I think I know best what it would take to get you guys coming back out. So we start to inject some money in the sport, prize money for the amateurs. And at one point, we were the highest paid amateur competition in the world. And Giovanni and the president Raphael, they saw the event, saw what it was that we were doing, and decided that we need to take this to the next level, where then they start now to offer some pro cards. And we went from being a 3-island event to intercontinental event to now an international event.
Wow, that's growth. Giovanni, he called your name because you saw what we were doing here and you thought it was good. What was it that inspired you to give the acclamation, it is good, what Barbados is doing in bodybuilding?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you, but did you hear me with my question?
No, can you go again?
What I wanted to hear from you, what do you think generally of Barbados bodybuilding?
I think I have to give thanks to Barbados because this sport is getting big in Barbados. Every year it's getting bigger and bigger, and we can see that because athletes coming from all parts of the world. I've been traveling a lot and talking, and everybody is talking about the Roger Boyce Classic in Barbados. For now, is the biggest professional competition in the Caribbean. We can even say the pro qualify as well, because we're also getting amateurs coming from outside to come to Barbados to try to win the professional part. So I want to congratulate Dr. Sporman and the president of the Barbados Federation, and Roger Boyd, also vice president of the CAC, by working so hard and to make this happen, because this was always my dream, to have a big competition, especially professional competition in our region. And it's all coming true thanks to Barbados and thanks to the Federation.
Indeed so, and so we're looking forward to this. Folks, remember it starts on May the 8th, so get your tickets very early. We'll talk about ticket venues in just a moment. Dr. Sparman, you are the president of the Barbados Amateur Bodybuilding Fitness Federation, and so for you, this is almost like a part of your baby, your incubation, providing a platform for bodybuilders in Barbados to be able to expose where they are in their development. Talk to me about what this whole classic means to you and your federation.
Yes, and thank you very much for having me, Pearson. But I am into health, you know, I'm into cardiology, and I feel that a healthier nation would be a better nation. And I think that this program here, number 4 in the world, would be nothing else but inspirational to kids. The youths always look forward towards the future. They look at their parents first, then the family, and the community at large. And when they see our national and international athletes on the stage, they can only think about what they can be in the future. So exponentially, in the long run, it's going to help this country big time.
Talk to me from that perspective as a surgeon and how your heart health, what it means for people to develop the body in such a way that you're staying fit and healthy.
Yes, I mean, I walk the walk. Yes, you do. Because I feel that with so much non-chemical type of diseases, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, affecting our nation. Now, people are dying at earlier ages. This fitness and bodybuilding can be nothing else but good for inspiring youths to be healthier, having a positive body image, confidence, decrease stress, and all of those things.
And while that is good for the individual, there's some who see it as a platform to a competition as well. Talk to me from where the Amateur Bodybuilding Federation stands as to providing opportunities for people to showcase what they've worked so hard to achieve.
Yes, because, you know, it's not to that end. They see the world now. The world is at large right now. They can see if I keep my body in good shape, at the same time, I'm being very healthy, and I can showcase what I have. It doesn't stop here in Barbados. They can move, they become pros, and they can move to the world and it can be their profession. And you don't have to engage in bodybuilding only as your profession. People, teachers, doctors, lawyers, go on stage. So it's nothing else but a win-win.
A win-win indeed. And so, Roger, back at you. You're providing an opportunity for people to have that win, and you're winning at the same time as well. But you're doing it collaboratively. You're having you said over 40 different nations coming. And so, accommodation. Are you ready for this? Is it structurally? Are you ready for this? There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that you have to put into it, and we're working on it. Yes, and we're up to the task.
Alena, we're up to the task. And so everyone is watching because everyone wants to come to see this mini Olympiad in Barbados. And so talk to us about how we can get into the gymnasium, because we plan to fill it to the rafters, tickets, locations, and so.
The ticket locations are all major gyms at the gymnasium, and also ticket links.
All right. Who's representing Barbados? Do you know?
Of course. I know some of the pros. We have Ramona Morgan. We have Dion Thompson. We have Lamar Coward, Lamar Coward. Yeah, so we have like 12 of our pros going on stage representing Barbados.
Boy, and as usual, you know, we're getting contingents out of the Caribbean and across the globe. So like, is Antigua coming again?
Yeah, Antigua is coming, but it's big. We have, like, right now, we have 70 plus pros registered so far, and we're now in April. And usually, the last 2 weeks before the competition, you have influx of athletes registering. So I think that this year we can see maybe 100 plus pros on stage.
I know the days are broken down into different competitions. So on the 8th of May, what happens?
Arrival, that's more technical stuff. The arrival of the teams, meetings, judges meetings, technical meetings. Friday, which will be the 9th, that's registration for the amateurs. And Saturday, the 10th, in the AM is registration for the pros. And the amateur competition is Saturday the 10th, and the pro is Sunday the 11th. All starting at 3.
So folks, you've got to get your tickets fast, really, really fast. We know the tickets go very, very quickly for this event, indeed, because it's a big event indeed. There are over 40 nations who are going to be on island competing in fitness and in bodybuilding, professionals and amateurs as well. And so we all want to be there to support all of the teams, regionally and internationally as well. And this one is being watched very closely because I believe it's going to be one of those competitions that will make big news and big headlines across the globe as well. But it all portends well for the Barbados Amateur Bodybuilding Fitness Federation as well, right, Dr. Sparman? That people see what we can do.
Yes.
That's a very simple answer. I like it. You're so right.
Could you repeat that?
The question was, and I'm hoping that you have a conversation with me, was I said this all portends well when we have this size tournament on the island for the Barbados Amateur Fitness Federation.
Yes. I think apart from being professional, I think for the local athletes who are not coming up, the novice and all those people who are now wanting to get in there, it will also boost our local events.
So a lot happening, folks. We have to be a part of it indeed. Tickets are available at box offices from the gyms, and we will update you as it goes as well, because we want to see you all there. You should be there indeed to see all of these competitions. And these are excellent people who are great at their craft. They will look good, and they will not just perform, but they will showcase their very best, because it's a competition at the end of the day in fitness and in bodybuilding. So it's all happening at the gymnasium from the 10th and the 11th. The teams begin to arrive from the 8th, and so on the 10th and the 11th we are all expected to be in the Wilder Gymnasium for the Roger Boys Classic, and I say the mini Olympiad as well. Thank you so much, Roger.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, and thank you, Giovanni, for coming and joining us as well, and of course Dr. Sparman for engaging with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce.
You're very welcome.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados is a break here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ads.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 15 minutes to go to 8 o'clock. I think we have a lot of time to talk up St. Joseph, folks. There is something big, I mean like huge happening in St. Joseph this weekend. Time is flying so fast. I just realized that today is the 15th, so the 19th is this Saturday. And so joining me to talk more about this is Stacey O'Brien, big at the NCF, I must say. But she's event coordinator indeed. And so this is the marquee event for St. Joseph we're talking about.
It is this Saturday in Bathsheba. We're taking over all parts of St. Joseph on Saturday morning. We're going to have the walk and run starting at Grantley Adams School, and full day of community activity happening at Hillcrest Community Center, and then the big people party in Bathsheba Park in the evening time. You know we're going to have a good time.
Oh, of course we will. Well, next to you, I think you guys got a preview of them just now, Zico Springer and Anderson Ford, who have toured Barbados. I've seen you guys' videos online. Listen, you know, like pure sport.
Thank you.
So talk to me a bit about the concept behind what you do in Tour Barbados.
Okay, so TOR is an acronym, first thing first. TORE stands for The Off-Road Experience.
I'll tell you.
It's a guided off-road tour. We also do 4x4 coaching and education, and a whole array of outdoor activities as well. So we offer hiking, camping, outdoor cooking, where we provide traditional wood fire. You can prepare your meals or grill your food on the wood fire. We also do nature liming, where we take you to like bespoke and weird places in Barbados that nobody knows that exist. You could play dominoes in a cave.
Wow.
Yeah, you can have a party in a cave. So that's the type of stuff that we do. We're really making the outdoors more accessible and less of an anomaly and unknown for the average person.
And so Anderson, this perhaps started as just fun between friends. Just looking for different things to do, and boy has it grown up and blown up indeed. Does it surprise you?
Not really, because this is something that I know a lot of people in Barbados would like to do, but it's a very expensive hobby, what we want to call a hobby. The average person cannot have 2 vehicles to drive about. Obviously, if you got your one vehicle that you do your daily driving with, you're going to use that to do off-roading.
That ain't going off-road at all.
Yeah, you understand? So we make it accessible for people that want to experience it and want to do it without the funds. You could come to us and experience it with us.
I love to see the laughter. I love to see the screams. I just like, and then, you know, as if I'm right in the driver's seat as well. You're like, where are you going to take me now? It's so, it takes you to the edge, and then whoosh. Yes. It is quite a heartwarming experience.
We have coordinated with our community passport for Saturday.
Right.
So you register online at ncf.bb, get your community passport, you get your discounts from Tour Barbados, and we are going to run tours from 10 in the morning on every hour on Saturday. So this is all a part of the marquee event on Saturday, an adventure St. Joseph.
I have a strong heart here.
So there's lots to do.
But you're going to have some fun. So
we are.
The passport, I need to log on and
yes,
register
so you register for your passport at ncf.bb. We issue it to you. And
virtually? So I get it on my phone?
You'll get it at the event when you get there, but you register for your tour.
Right.
And these capable young men will take you throughout St. Joseph and far reachings of Barbados. We'll see how far we go. And that's one of our main events happening Saturday, as well as a treasure hunt. So if you don't have the heart and the soul for the drive-in, in a more family-oriented, they're also coordinating the treasure hunt for us. So there are 2 registration times for the treasure hunts, 12 and 2. 10 and 12, yeah. 10 and 12, sorry, my apologies. So much happening.
Yes.
And yes, you come to then Grantley Adams School and you board your vehicles, and these able young men will drive you through St. Joseph, or you can take the treasure hunt throughout the day, and lots of prizes to be won, lots of fun and so on. But that's just the morning part of the day. If you're a little bit more adventurous and you want to do the walk and the run, again, you go on ncf.bb, you fill out the registration form, you come to Grantley Adams, and you're either a part of the ride, the family ride, or the family walk, happening all Saturday in St. Joseph.
All Saturday in St. Joseph.
All Saturday in St. Joseph.
And that's the morning part.
That's just the morning part.
But your tours, again that word, tours are happening. Yeah, I realize. You know, from 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And it's every hour.
Yes.
When is the last one? Because I might be a late person.
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
The last one is at 2. It leaves at 2. Jeez, oh, bread.
You want to come?
I'm planning my day already. You kidding? That's what I'm doing. I can hear other people planning their days as well. What are we going to do? And is this something for the children, or what, up until what age?
Yeah, so once the child has attained the age of 5 and they're strong enough and big enough that they can sit in the seat, they can support their own weight, and they can also follow instructions. That's why we've chosen the age of 5.
Right.
They're good to go. We have kids regularly.
This is sweet. I remember, listen, St. Joseph is not flat.
No.
So you're in for a good time on Saturday, but you need to register and get your passport at ncf.bb. It's on the front page. I can find that.
On our website, yeah.
Right. And you see, look at your screen. Look at your screen, everyone. That is what happens. Can you imagine?
This is what's happening on Saturday.
Well.
Register.
And just the laughter, because when you realize that, yes, I can. Yes, I faced my fears. You're left with something, memories out of this world. Look at those ladies clutching the pearls. It is bear sport. Turn left. No. Get stuck in mud even. See? There you go. It's a lot of fun. So those are the tours that they will do for you on Saturday indeed. This is a ball on Saturday. And that's all in the market in the morning time, along with the treasure hunt and so forth.
Along with the treasure hunt.
And then we go into the big people party.
We go into the big people party, but first we go up to Hillcrest.
Yes.
Because Hillcrest Community Center will be a hive of activity all day. Yes, please.
Where are we doing the tours from?
Grantley Adams School. That's where there's going to start.
So that's where we're going to go early in the morning.
And there's a park and ride in place from Grantley Adams to take you down into Bathsheba. We have everything in place
for you. The tour boys are going to be at Grantley Adams School.
Yes, please.
Gotcha. And then we go to Hillcrest.
We go to Hillcrest. So you want to come down, you finish your tour, you want some lunch, you want to take a stroll in Bathsheba and relax and take in all the atmosphere and come down from your lovely adventure. We have the passport will always also take you to Hillcrest, and you can go to the kiosks and the restaurants up there and get your discounts throughout the day and enjoy the entertainment all throughout the afternoon. And then we go down into Bathsheba Park.
A lot, boy.
Yes, adventure.
Yes,
adventure. St. Joseph is adventure. So just come and spend the day with us in St. Joseph. You don't have to worry about it. If you like to ride and walk, you do that in the morning. You go on your tour, you come and get your lunch, and then big people party.
Is in the Soup Bowl area?
In the Soup Bowl area.
Are you blocking off the roads?
Just partial for,
Right,
so that the buses can go through. Yes.
Generally, we're locking off the area.
We'll be locking off.
And we're going to have the sea as our backdrop.
Yeah.
The roaring tides, the waves are falling as
right by the rock.
And pop the music. We're ready to go.
Yes,
and that's the whole point.
That's the whole point. And you're going to have Tuma Hill. There, you're going to have a big people party with Biggie Irie, you're going to Lorenzo, Edwin Yearwood, that nice sweet soca vibe. So come down and enjoy St. Joseph on Saturday. So a good Easter weekend. We're late to go drive around Easter weekend. So drive down St. Joseph. Come and enjoy the weekend with us.
Take the adventure. Get lost. Take the adventure. Come take the tour. And then afterwards we're going to cool off and calm down ourselves on the side of the beach because the heart is going to be pumping. We're heading down to Bathsheba indeed. This is so well organized, I think, and it's going to be fantastic.
We have a great team. We've been partnering with all of the organizations and people who know what they're doing, because I can't off-road, so right. And it's a beautiful thing that every time we go to another parish, we're finding there's something and someone who they've done something in their parish that we want to experience. So the team at the NCF, Jamal Cobham and the whole technical team, the plant and equipment team, the marketing team, everybody's working together with the national organizing committees and the parish committees. There's a whole set of people working behind the scenes for regathering. And I have to say thank you to this massive team to make ssure that every single event, the Department of Emergency Management, we just had a whole thing about, okay, when we go this way, if anything goes wrong, how do we communicate, and it's good to see that all the support services and everybody's coming together to make sure that regathering is an amazing experience. So I'm having a ball, as you know, I go to every every parish.
Of course.
Having a great time.
You have the best passport.
I have the best passport. But it is lovely because we get to see what is so unique about every single parish in Barbados. And, you know, I'm looking forward to all the others to see
This is Saturday here, everybody.
It's Saturday.
This is Saturday.
And don't worry, we can finish in time. You can get church Sunday morning.
Yeah, because Christ the Lord is risen on that
yes,
day.
Easter Sunday.
You know, I imagine that you're going to lose your heart and then, hey, you resurrected on Sunday. We resurrected on Sunday. You'll be good again on Sunday. Trust me. You know, but this is fantastic. I like the variety of things that are happening. Yeah. The tour and the treasure hunt, and then the big people party stopping through at Hillcrest for a little bit of lunch and everything else. But food and drinks on sale.
Yes,
down in Bashaba as well, right?
Of course, of course.
Right. Be careful what you have for breakfast with the tour. Be careful. You just saw for yourself how the tours work. And this is something you guys do all year long?
Yes, we do. Yeah. Yes, we do. Every single week.
So for me, it sounds like something that would be great for families and groups and that kind of thing, just to bond.
Yeah, or the staff at CBC as well.
We also do
team building activities.
Thank you. We can choose not the intensity. You don't know the word. The kinds of tours that we want to take, because if you're going to cause my head to grow,
well, we have multiple packages available.
Good.
So our customers visit our website and they choose the package that best suits their team.
So tour dot something.
TourBarbados.com.
TourBarbados.com.
Yes,
because we have viewers overseas who I'm sure are planning their vacation to Barbados and they need to know what to do and what they can do that's different. TourBarbados.com.
Yeah,
TourBarbados.com.
Our Instagram is also Tour, and Tour is T-O-R-E again.
Yeah.
T-O-R-E_Barbados. That's on Instagram. We have a decent following there, and we're also on TikTok. Tour Barbados on TikTok again.
Jeez, so. Look at the fellas conquer the world. They conquer the world. They're standing on those vehicles. It worked for them, but it can work for you, everybody. And it's such a wonderful time you're going to have on Saturday, for real. But the tours will happen from the Grantley Adams Memorial School. That's where you need to go if you're taking the tour ride or if you're taking the treasure hunt. But you need to go first to ncf.bb to get your passport. Passports allow you to get discounts.
Yes.
Discount. Traditionally, what would the price of one of the experiences?
It also has to do with the packages.
So we range from
we do $95 an hour.
That Barbados dollars?
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's affordable.
Right.
That's easy for an hour.
Yeah.
Of heart-beating experience. This is brilliant. Thank you again. All right, so. Tour fellas, thank you very much. This is on Saturday, everybody. Stacey, as always, thank you too as well. Remember, Grantley Adams Memorial School is where the tour and the treasure hunt starts from and ends. And there's a parking ride from
Grantley Adams and St. Elizabeth School into Bashaba.
Right, and there you go. So into Bashaba, that's what you do. But we're stopping in there to Hillcrest as well and enjoy the view and lunch and everything else, and then get ourselves ready for the big people's party. We have until Thursday to remind you of all of this, as we shall do so as it goes as well. So thank you all for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Pearson.
Good. You're welcome. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day indeed. I hope the rest of yours continues to be equally beautiful. Our little crew joins me in saying to all of you, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.